Right, well, we've just come for a little walk around on the vehicles next up on our restoration list. Now, we've come up with names for these. That one's Rusty, that one's Dusty, and that one's Crusty. So we're just going to walk you around them and show you what we've got. We've taken the packs out, we dragged them out of that hedge. There's two more, but we're going to leave them. Yeah, so we've taken the packs out of all of them so that we can actually see what's going on. We've not started anything else yet, just sort of getting all the loose bits out the back. But we're going to give you a walk around. So on Rusty, what's the engine hours? 276 and a half. Not a lot of hours really. That's been overhauled by Abro. That's probably broken.
Oh, do you want to borrow that to check the oil?
Yeah. Oh, cheers. That must be a spare one.
A spare?
Bloody hell. We need a bigger tumbler. Cut it into bits, we'll re-weld it, but we can tumble it then. Yeah. Sounds like a plan. Put that there for safekeeping. Yeah. Well, that's a good start. No milky oil, obviously it's not been ran up, so it might have rotted through. But that's what you learn. That's what you learn by doing it. Oh, bung. Everyone likes bungs. Yeah, we've started clearing some of this stuff off the rad. It's just years of crap. What likes to happen when you leave these things sitting for years is inside the injector pump there's springs on each injector. And those springs, when they get pushed down, and that's what injects the fuel, but they like to stick down. And if that happens, then it locks your rack out. See, it won't run, you won't get any fuel out of the injectors. Sometimes you can take the cover off and you can free them off and get them moving, but it might not be the case. We don't know yet. So that's about the gist of the engine sides of things. First inspection on the actual inside, there's a little bit more to do. A little bit more. The running gear. Actually, in all fairness, the actual bushes look pretty good, judging from these wear indicators, or retaining caps, whatever you want to call them. When it wears through, that'll start rubbing. It's definitely going to need a few road wheels. Luckily, we've got plenty of them. The track doesn't look awful, apart from bits like this, where you've got some stuck bushes in there. I think they're going to need some copious amounts of driving. Well, I think she's quite fitting for her name, really. Rusty. Well, I suppose we move on to Dusty now. Oh my god, there's a tree. How's that even happened? Oh dear. Well, that'd be fun to get out. I might have to bring the chainsaw in for that.
Gas axe it out. It'd be so much fun.
It would be a bit burny though, wouldn't it? I don't know what would be worse, the wood or the rubber. Probably the rubber. But we've got new road wheels.
You've got a good mass, you can find out.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the new camo that the British Army were using, and you blend into trees with it. Again, some pretty rusty tracks, but you might find with a bit of use they sort of bed back in again.
Hatch just about opens. You're not going to believe this on camera.
Oh, my adjustable! No. No!
Yes!
No! Oh, I've lost that for so long! Oh my god. This is going to look like we've placed stuff because you found my lever bar the other day.
Genuinely haven't. I'm on a roll.
Well, Dusty's engine hours, 367. Still not very high. What do we reckon? Oh, that's going to need some new oil just because of all the crap setting in. But it doesn't look milky. But again, until you run it up and everything, you don't actually know. So it look awful. Looks like she needs a bit of paint around her. But I think it's all going to be the same sort of issues on each one, just from being sat. So by the time we've done that one, and then we do this one, and then we get to that one, we'll be experts. Yeah. It all looks fairly clean. I think all the starter motors are going to need hitting with a good old hammer. Get a good old technical tap. Wow. She's definitely going to need some road wheels. Oh. I think maybe even the track's completely off and just start afresh.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we are going to have to look into making some bump stops though, because I don't know if we're going to have enough to do them all. I've noticed quite a few. You know what I'm shocked though? The exhaust, I can't feel any great big holes. I would have thought that would have rusted through straight away. You're not pushing hard enough. I don't know, just... Yes, slightly more crusty, slightly more. But with a pressure washer, everything will come up beautifully. Pack bolts, that'll be us. When I look at the engine bay though, the paint's still fresh on it. Usually that's gone all crusty. Less stuff missing, regulator. I think we've got new dashboards that can just go straight in. Brand new one. These can get taken out. It's like being caught in a spider's web. Blimey. Surprisingly, they've actually fared pretty well. I'm very, very surprised. I mean, that commander seat, they rust through like in no time. That looks pretty new. Considering this has been dragged out the hedge that it's been in for a long old time, they have fared very well. I suppose we better move on to... You comfy there?
A little bit like, yeah, it's a little bit on the sort of hot piss, but it's hanging in there. It's hanging in there.
Yeah, lastly but not least.
Don't go sticking your fingers in holes, you don't know what's on the other side.
It's like, if I had smaller hands, it'd be like I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. I've seen videos with those sort of holes on before. I wouldn't like to see what comes out of them though. Well, crusty. Yeah, I think that's quite fitting. But it's all just surface actually, isn't it, really? It's not like it's rotten through. It's still solid as a rock. What do we reckon? What do we reckon? This just tells us if the heat exchanger was gone when it was parked up. No, it wasn't. That's a good sign.
Still lock wide as well.
Lock wire.
Army spec.
Brilliant. Now that might look rusty, but it's an oil tank, so it can only rust from the outside. It's not going to rust from the inside as long as there's oil in it, which I'm going to assume, and I know what to say about assume, but I'm going to assume that it has oil in it. There's still remnants of grease in there. Now the solenoids don't really matter because most of the time we lock them up as we did on some of our other vehicles, and it makes it more reliable because them solenoids are a load of crap. Only a few broken headlights. These are a bit scabby. We've actually had some brand new ones of those made. So if anyone needs one, let us know. Wow. It really does look like the same story on all of them, doesn't it?
Which isn't a bad place to be.
Yeah. Until we start running the engines up, we won't know. I think the first step on all of them will just be make sure all the electronic side of stuff is put together. Get that all put together and go from there. I mean, you can see how much is missing. Well, actually, just the dash. No, the dash is there anyway, so nothing's missing. It's just plumbing it all back together. I don't know why it's been put like that. I think over the years people have probably robbed bits off them and use them to fix other vehicles rather than fix these ones. But we like a challenge.
We love a challenge.
We like a challenge. It keeps us busy. What would we rather do on a Sunday? Fix tanks and lay in mud. I've got to be honest. I really, really don't like the green all over this. This should be a nice cream colour. It looks gorgeous then. Yeah, I don't really know what we're going to do. You right
Oh, oh, sorry, is it not that kind of hole?
there? No. Not on video anyway, blimey. But yeah. We are good. Oh dear. Yeah, that's seen better days. They are usually the first thing to go. I can't believe we found all these cars in the back of them as well. Very spacious. I think this is just a big pile of parts that haven't fared quite as well. Well, there's still a bit of solid metal in there. What even is that?
Bit of plate.
Ooh. Live there. Yeah, I'm excited. Are you excited?
That's one word. Might be a bit extreme, but looking forward to it.
I reckon we can have them done in a week.
Oh, but look, you can't evict the poor bird. It's just made its nest here.
Yeah, just made it about 7 years ago. Blimey. Tom hasn't got a lot of tools, so he can restore that. Tom!
What?
You can take that home, you can have that.
What is it?
It's a 1/2 inch ratchet.
Oh, I've always wanted one of those. Thank you so much.
That is a British Army standard issue ratchet, but it's been restored to Russian Army spec. And there you have it. Rusty, dusty and crusty. I think that was the order, I can't remember. They all look the same, to be honest. But that's what we're up against. And I think it is a very doable thing, because we need 432s for our Monty days and our driving days. We are getting dangerously low. At least when we get them, once you get them running from this condition, you use them and something breaks, and then you use it again after you fix that and something else will break. And eventually, 3 or 4 times, it'll be a very reliable vehicle because you fixed all the things that were going to break. Then it's just maintaining, which still is no easy task. I thought while we're here, we ought to just have a quick look at these ones. I've not actually stuck my head in. Oh dear God, the bush is coming through the driver's hatch. Oh my God, maybe we ought to think about dragging these out.
Leave it where it's happy.
What should we call it? I reckon Rug Muncher. He's always got his head in a bush. I just think that's the sort of name I could envision being written down the side in a nice white stencil. Yeah, it does look like one.